Hey friends, welcome to creativex. My name is Brad Hussey and I'm a web designer. So in the creativex crew, my community of high value web designers and agency owners, I asked if anybody wanted me to redesign their site in a video. And we've got like 14 people in here saying, hey, me. So I've got my picks here where I get to choose the sites that I want to redesign. We already did one just recently in a previous video. Make sure to check that out afterwards. And in this one, we got a pretty exciting one coming up. I'm actually quite excited about it. We have a member in the crew who designs brands for nautical companies and yachts. So really interesting. So I thought, let's take his current site, which is nice, but give it a little extra, I don't know, nautical vibe. Speaking of nautical vibes, this vibe we've got going on right now is not going to work. So we're going to need to change up this background. I feel like that's got a nice kind of Mediterranean Sea vibe to it. Now, obviously this isn't going to work either. So luckily, I always keep my handy dandy costume on board just in case for this exact scenario. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about. My friends, this video is sponsored by our friends at NordPass, and we're gonna be talking a little bit more about them in just a few minutes. But for now, let's jump on in. The water's nice, and let's start redesigning a nautical brand website. Now, I gotta say, first off, I actually like the minimalist vibe of this brand. It's actually quite a nice, pleasant design to look at. If I just scroll through on first glance, it's actually like nicely done. I like the typography, good spacing. Like it takes up the full screen, but in the layout is really nice. It's scalable, it's responsive, and quite nice wording too. You know, set sail for success with a clear and consistent visual identity. So I think this is pretty neat. Now, in terms of like redesigning what's here, I don't think I can necessarily do that because it's actually a good design. So what I'm gonna do with this site is I'm gonna approach it totally differently. And I actually want to really go hard on the nautical, ocean, sea, luxury vibe, okay? Because right now, my only real critique is that I'm not getting nautical brand from Graphics really at all. Graphics specializes in designing brands for the nautical scene with clients worldwide. You know, so I'm feeling like the target audience, yacht companies, which probably aren't suffering for cash, let's just say, like luxury, like ocean, like vistas and scenery. And I'm just imagining, you know, like dripping with luxury and like just beautiful high-end design. And I like to start with inspiration. And one of my favorite nautical themed websites is called miti-navi.com. I'm assuming that's Miti Navi. I think they're a French company. Anyway, they build sailboats. And I love this website. So let's really quick go through this website. Let me tell you what I love about it. And then we're just gonna fully steal some of the essence of the site. You know, great artists, they steal, right? So I'm currently likening myself to a great artist.
But you have heard of me.
So miti-navi.com, and what I like here is it's got a really cool, if I refresh, you'll see it's got a cool animation, cool loading screen, perfect. And we're masked in this M shape. You could see the M for Miti in the logo. It's masking the hero image in this M. And it's got a parallax effect behind it. So that's pretty cool. It almost mimics looking through binoculars too, or the shape of like sails, or maybe like the tail fins of a whale. And it also really creates a cool direction. So it's pointing down, it's creating movement saying, let's go on a boat. The sailboats of your dreams. Look at this typography. I'm pretty sure this is like a custom font or they bought this from somewhere. It's called Voyage. Of course it's called Voyage. Is it really a sailboat brand if your font isn't Voyage? I don't know. So we're gonna have to do something about that. And I don't think Montserrat's gonna cut it. For our fonts, we're gonna need to acquire some serious sailboat style fonts. I've got a few ideas about that. Also take note of this sand colored muted background. That's on purpose. very neat. Like just lots of movement here. The imagery is really important here too. It's framing these beautiful images. And as you can see, as I scroll, these images are actually not just static, they're parallax style images. And they finish off with the arrow going down. Very, very cool. See, I love this site. So basically I don't need to look any further for inspiration. This is what we're gonna be borrowing from. So I'm gonna do this first in Figma. I'm just gonna have just like a basic canvas. I'm not gonna go too specific here. I just wanna create a bit of a, maybe like a rough mock-up. And then we'll throw that over into Editor X and build something out in record time. So we're gonna borrow this color back here. Now, I don't want that full sand color. I want something that is gonna be pulled back a bit. Something like that. And I think that this could work with our green. I feel like that could be neat. Creating just a bit of a rough color palette here. There is our color palette. Now, Graphics, I think the logo is pretty cool. So we're going to snag this logo, throw it in, oh, it's an SVG too. Because it's an SVG, infinitely scales, beautiful. Oh, I love it. Nautical brand design. Okay, so this is where I'm going to throw some text, and it's gonna be using our color, the green, and I want to use Space Grotesque as our font. A little bit hard to read. Maybe I'll go with a darker version of our sand here. There we go. I feel like I wish there was a sail here, like an illustration of a sail from a sailboat. That could be interesting. Maybe I'll revisit that in a moment. So Graphics, Nautical brand design, there it is, center of the hero. Okay, so now let's go to Creative Market, and I'm gonna find a Nautical font. This one's cool. I actually like this one a lot. I am going to Snatch Galley. And this is cool. It kind of gave us like some illustrations too. Maybe I'll just steal one of these. Why not? Came with the purchase. All right, so it gives us a whole bunch of icons with the purchase of our font. So that's cool. Like sweet, sweet bonus deal. So looking at all of these, I'm thinking pretty cool options that we can throw into our Graphics logo. My faves are this ship sailing at night, this anchor. Octopus is cool, but we don't want to scare away the rich yacht owners from the Kraken. And so maybe, let me just try a couple. No, not gonna do it. Let's see. And let's see, where might I use, maybe the eye. Okay, I just kind of like made up my own anchor here. Pretty messy. I could probably fix it up a little bit. Not sold. I actually hate that so much. So we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna go back to the original Graphics brand. Spent a lot of time on that. Totally unnecessary. So now that we have our font, we're gonna take Set Sail for Success with a clear and consistent visual identity. Actually, better yet, I'm gonna copy all the text on this, go to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna say, here is the copy of my Nautical brand design company. I need help improving the copy to better suit my target audience, which is luxury yacht brands and companies. All right, so you got the copy, and I'm gonna say I need a great headline for my hero section. Set sail with unforgettable brands, the premier choice for luxury yacht companies. Or set sail with unforgettable brands, bespoke branding for the elite nautical world. I'm gonna go with set sail with unforgettable brands, premier choice for the nautical industry. Let's do that. All right, I'm just gonna add the text here so I don't forget it. Okay, now I need to change that font. All right, so we got this changed to Galley. I wanna change this a little bit. Let me see. All right, so far we got our headline and a sub-headline here with a little help from my friend ChatGPT. And looking at it here so far, again, this is just a bit of a mood board mock-up. I'm not doing any real design work here other than just a bit of a creating the essence. I'm feeling like this needs to be centered. All right, here we go. Set sail with an unforgettable brand. I'm feeling like I don't want to use the logo here. Sorry, original logo, but I'm actually going to remove that. and we're gonna go like this. And let's see how this works with our nautical font. All right, so now this is where I'm gonna bring that anchor back in. Or maybe not even the anchor, maybe this is where I can be, you know, do something a little interesting. All right, Photoshop time.
5 minutes later.
Sweet, see? Now we've got our SVG and I can change the color easily and it's infinitely scalable. So we're gonna change that color to be our, maybe we'll make it our green. Maybe this is where we'll use the Graphics original branding. I'm not sure I'm sold on it, but why not? And I wanna change Graphics to, back to Space Grotesque. And I want it to be light and we're gonna really space that out. Looking at it now, I'll tie in the green somewhere, but I'm actually gonna change this back to our something more subtle. Okay, so far, so good. We need a call to action here. And I think for the buttons, let's see what we've got in our original design here. We've just got a hairline outline button that fills in over hover. All right, well, I'm okay with that, but I also think it's a bold choice when your buttons are simply text with underlines. So we're gonna borrow from that. So we're gonna have our buttons be our Space Grotesque font, and let's go back to ChatGPT and ask for a good call to action. Okay, so we got begin your voyage, start the journey, chart your course, set sail now, embark today. Let's say begin, no, set sail now. No, we've already used set sail. How about begin the journey? All right, now let's think of how we can bump this up a little bit here. So maybe what I'm gonna do is put the navigation up in the top. We're gonna use the same text here, but we want it to be real small. So let me see what we've got here for our navigation. We've got homework, case studies, capabilities, about. All right, so we got our navigation logo up here, headline, call to action. Okay, so we got a good basic setup here. And what I'm thinking is we're gonna need to add an image here. Now, I don't wanna go the literal image here where they have like this really cool shot of like a yacht from an actual product of theirs. You know, they have real photographs. Now, we don't have that. But what we do have is generative AI. So what we can do is I'm gonna use Adobe Firefly to generate some branding imagery that we can use. And it's okay here because we are our own client. So if this is my website, or let's say Graphics, you wanna show kind of an essence of your brand, you don't need to go out and get good shots of real yachts. You can create like a creative interpretation of that. So we're gonna use Adobe Firefly. And I've gone ahead and typed in luxurious yacht sailing on the Mediterranean Sea. And I'm using the art style with golden hour, a shot from above, a warm tone, and a product photo. And so this is what I get on first pass. Like, you can't tell me that this is not incredible. See how we have a cool kind of frame here. I might borrow a similar style to give some movement, or I might not, but I kind of want, maybe we can have it fully be in the background, or maybe we can have it within like binoculars, like you're at sea and you have binoculars and you're looking over yonder at the pirate ships or something. So let's just try. All right, so cool, but obviously now it's hard to read everything. There's a lot of contrast here, so we can do something like make it have like a different layer effect. So maybe we can, which could work, but I don't know. Now, what if we did something more like right there? Now, what if we did something like with a binocular shape? So let's copy this, but we mask it. So let's create like a shape with two circles. There we go. Now I can move this where I want it to be. Now this is where I'm gonna have to move all this stuff. Maybe make it smaller. Okay, these are some cool options. So we've got our plain option here, which is just a blank canvas. We've got our full image one here, and then we've got our kind of masked shape one. So that's kind of neat. Now, just to take this one little step further, we're gonna add a little bit more to this frame. I'm gonna run with this one. And we're gonna need to add some text. And then we're gonna add a heading here. All right, what else? So this is our services. We can kind of maybe borrow from this a little bit. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this canvas taller, and we're gonna do kind of that 3-part, and then we're gonna get some imagery. So let's see, what are the services? We got brand, identity, website. So we'll say brand, website. Let's just say brand and website. Strategy, identity, and website. Let's just do that. Now we need some imagery. I'm gonna go to a Firefly for that. We're gonna keep it this style here, but what if we just refresh and see what else we get? I'm just gonna keep going with these images. Let's download this one and this one. All right, just really quick putting these together here. Brand, identity design, web design, marketing, and strategy. Obviously these images have nothing to do with those. That's where you'd spend a little more time figuring out how do you want to incorporate that. Maybe some sort of line drawings that give the essence of brand identity and design and then strategy. And maybe you can use a nautical theme like to communicate those ideas. Maybe that's something that I would want to explore. I've done this so far in Figma. This is really just a mock-up. What I think I'd like to do now is move this on over to EditorX and build it into an actual site, at least a work in progress so far. Now, before we do that, I want to give you a quick word from our sponsor today on this video. So let's imagine this. The member of our creativex crew loves this redesign we've done today and decides they want to hire us to rebuild their site. Now we're not just talking about a fun redesign project. Now we're talking about a serious project where passwords, notes, confidential client information, credentials, all this stuff is now flying around left, right, and center. It's a digital treasure chest for any hackers, or dare I say pirates, lurking in the shadows. But how do we keep all this information secure? Well, that's where our sponsor, NordPass, comes into play. NordPass is like your digital vault. It's not just about storing passwords, it's about managing your entire digital wealth. It's like your personal security guard that never sleeps. And here's where NordPass really shines. Like I said, it's not just about passwords, it's about implementing strong passwords by default, enhancing security with company-wide settings, and giving and revoking access effortlessly. Need to share credentials, payment information, or notes between teammates and clients securely? Well, NordPass has got you covered. And if you ever need to revoke access, it's as simple as clicking a button or making them walk the plank. So while you're busy creating stunning websites, NordPass is working tirelessly behind the scenes, keeping your digital life secure. It's a win-win situation for you and your clients. But don't just take my word for it. Head over to NordPass and give it a whirl and see how it can revolutionize your digital workflow. They're offering you, the creativex crew, a special 3-month free trial. Just head over to nordpass.com/creativex. Use the code creativex. That's nordpass.com/creativex, code creativex. Remember, this is not just about securing your passwords. It's about enhancing your workflow, increasing your team's productivity, and most importantly, protecting your design integrity. So don't wait. This is a special offer just for you, the creativex crew. Take control of your digital security with NordPass. Start your free trial today and experience the difference for yourself. Now, speaking of making a difference, let's get back to our redesign. I know you're all eager to see the transformation happen in EditorX. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to put our design that we made in Figma into EditorX. So what I'm gonna do is start off with our colors. Let's go ahead, add those colors right now. And then we're gonna throw in our logo. We're gonna go ahead and change our fonts. And now we need to grab our image with that shape. So what I could do is really simply just take this, export the image, put it in EditorX, and we'd be tickety-boo. But what I think would be cool is if we had a parallax style effect. So what I'm gonna do is throw the image in first, and then we can make it fill this section. I want to make this section nice and tall. It's gonna be 100 VH. And then I want it to have a parallax style effect. So when we scroll, it's gonna be parallax, and you won't really be able to see it right now very much because the website needs to be taller. And I want to change the focal point of this image to not be the center. I actually want it to be like off to the side of it. So we move, there we go. So now I'm going to take this shape that we have here and I'm actually going to export it into a PNG file where we're gonna punch out the 2 circles. So I'm actually just gonna design that real quick right now. Okay, I'm gonna add the section here. I'm gonna put that image that I just created. Okay, there we go. And now, I'll preview this. Should have that cool effect. And maybe what I'll do is I'm gonna make the height a little smaller. Okay, we're looking good so far. So now let's add that text. All right, we've got our hero section. Just need to do a few extra things here. And I'm gonna add this button with our custom underline. Let's stack all of these elements here, make sure they're all aligned. I've changed up the image a little bit and the orientation, but it's the same idea. And now we're just gonna add the text. In the next section, I'm gonna update the line height here a little bit, 1.7. Give it some nice space. And then we're gonna actually just use this composition here. Update the imagery. All images that we've generated using Adobe Firefly. And then we would put, what was it, branding, let's say design, and marketing and strategy. All right, we need to make sure we have navigation menu here. Change that text. And then we're gonna take this menu and we're gonna align it to the right, or sorry, the left. Text is also gonna be aligned to the left here. And then we'd have the actual menu items up there once the site was done. We'd probably leave it all as one page and have these be anchors, no pun intended, to swipe down through each of the sections of the site. All right, so now for the final reveal, let's check out the previous site that the original designer did. We got Graphics here. Again, nice design, it's well done, it looks good, but the thing is, I just wanted to go full nautical on this site. So we got a little inspiration from the Miti Navi website, and this, my friends, is our final version that we've come up with in Editor X. Here it is, right here, full nautical vibe. We got a cool color theme, different typography. We're using generative AI for the imagery. And as we scroll, we got a binocular mask that's giving us this cool parallax effect. Set sail with an unforgettable brand, the premier choice for luxury yacht companies. Begin your journey. Design specializing in the nautical world. We've got our services here, branding, design, marketing strategy. And this is really all I put together right now. We could really jam with this. This is a cool concept. This is just one way of doing it. There's lots of different ways. That's what's fun about design, especially for our own sites. When we're building and redesigning our sites for our own companies and our own agencies, we can use whatever vibe and style we want. So, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you want your site redesigned like this, for a chance to do that, join the creativex crew. It's free. Submit your site, and maybe it might get featured in an upcoming video like this. Maybe you'll love the design, maybe you'll absolutely hate it. But hey, it's all fun anyway. And once again, thanks to our sponsor, NordPass. Go to nordpass.com/creativex. Use the code creativex. And until next time, my friends, I'll see you in another video. Ahoy, mateys.